So yeah, I'm always in books. I tell you, books have been a blessing to us who are worms, bookworms. And it's so much information in books. I just wish the young folk would just grab a hold, don't let go, hold on to life. hmm Um, this book here was not given to me, but was told to. Tresca told me to look into this book here. Tresca is one of the bunkers. This is called Unlocking the Secrets of the Feasts. The Prophets in the Feasts of Leviticus. Michael Norton. It's a short read. It's really good. And it kind of gives a briefer synopsis of the other feast book that I often show you all. And it gives you each feast in a few pages. You can read this in you can read it in one night, but I suggest you kind of do some research and give it a few days, and it gives you an idea of what God was doing through the Jews, trying to show them something, obviously Jesus Christ who came, and because of the fullness of the Gentiles who we became, depending on what y'all believe, because I know I have a lot of Hebrew Israelites that watch the show, and some of you have taken on that Hebrew Israelitish attitude, and that's fine with me. I don't fight. I don't fight with y'all. But today's Sunday school lesson is out of talking about the Jubilee, the celebration of the Jubilee. Has a lot to do with the feast as well. And it gives you an idea of what God's planning is. So I'm going to talk about that today to see if we can get through this. It's not a long teaching at all, but you know me, right? Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say. Sirwalterj Jones. Sirwalterj Jones. He's got something to say. Sirwalterj Jones. Sirwalterj Jones Show.
Come on in. The water's fine. Do 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 do. Hello, everybody. This is Elder Walter Jones of the Faith Temple Church of God in Christ, 1932 Dewey Avenue in Evanston, Illinois. How y'all doing? Y'all fine out there? So good to see y'all. We are in another Sunday school lesson. We're coming out of Leviticus chapter 25. Celebrate Jubilee. All right. We always do a Jubilee teaching right after Pentecost Sunday, because of the whole 50 thing. Again, this book here will challenge you in that area. When you go to the table of contents, you'll see the fourth feast, which is the Feast of Pentecost, and then after that we go into the Feast of Trumpets. This is coming out of, you got the Kojic book here, just coming out of the Powerful Living. They skip around. They started chapter 20, Leviticus 25. They started verse 8, but y'all know how we do. We kind of we flow. We kind of flow in the spirit. We flow. Greetings to you, Tina. Sweet Tina. Deborah, Jerome, and Pat, and Drea, and Beatrice, and Pamela, and Gary, a whole bunch of y'all here. Okay, right here, as a recap, here are the feasts. This is in my study Bible. All right. Israel's annual feasts. Passover, you see. Then unleavened bread. And then first fruits. Y'all do some really bad teaching on first fruits. Y'all do some really bad teaching. Okay. Weeks, which is another word, Pentecost. Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah, Day of Atonement, tabernacles, booths, or the ingathering. People who are Gentiles believe that this lines up to like the rapture. I personally do not believe that, and I'll explain maybe. The three major feasts for which all males of Israel were required to travel to the temple in Jerusalem. All right. That's what the 1, 2, 3. The requirement to go to Israel is unleavened bread, Pentecost, as we know in Acts chapter 2. They were in Israel from all over the nations. And then, of course, tabernacles, the ingathering. Well, today we see Israel's other sacred times. Sabbath. Yes, every seventh day was a solemn rest from all work. We all know about the Sabbath day. A lot of y'all fight over it. It's not Sunday, but it's Saturday, but yet the New Testament church did worship God every day, and they met on Sunday, the first day of the week. All right, so we're not fighting over that, because Sabbath is not about worship. Sabbath is about rest. But then there's a Sabbath year. Every 7 years, seventh year was designated a year of release to allow the land to lie fallow. Rest. So we'll see that in today's study, Sabbath year. And then comes the year of Jubilee, the 50th year, which followed Sabbath years, was to proclaim liberty to those who were servants because of debt, and to return lands to their former owners, to return the land. This is huge. And everybody was, I mean, when I was coming up, we kept hearing about the Jubilee year, but it never worked for us. People were still in debt on the so-called Jubilee year. Why? Because this is not about y'all. This ain't about y'all. The new moon, the first day of the Hebrew 29 or 30th day month, was a day of rest, special sacrifices, and the blowing of the trumpets. All right. The only one I want to hear blow a trumpet right now is Louis Armstrong. Okay. Or the man with the big cheeks with the horn that tilted up. What's his name, y'all? Dedication. That's the lights. All right. Hanukkah. The festival of lights that we will see in some of the cities. All right. And then Purim. That's out of Esther. Okay. All right. So that's what's going on in today's lesson. What's his name, y'all? Is it Dizzy? Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. Dizzy Gillespie. Those. That's all I want to hear play a trumpet right now. Is Satchmo and Dizzy. Now they both dead, but I can turn their music on. Other than that, it's Sunshine. I don't want to hear trumpet. I don't want to hear trumpet. No, I got too much work to do. I got to get out there and win the loss at any cost. Don't blow just yet. All right. Well, let's go into this lesson and pull up the whiteboard and see if we could go down the ladder. Send down the rain. Hey, Flo, good to see you, girl. Send down the ladder rain. Send down the rain. Send down the latter rain. John Coltrane, huh? Don't forget him. Well, John Coltrane didn't play trumpet, but I'll go with him. I'll go. Come on, trombone shorty, David. Yeah, I'll do some Coltrane. Yes, sir. I'll do some Bird. Let's see here. Right here, the Sabbath. All right, look at the list. Sabbath year. Yeah, he did play them both, but the average person don't know him as a trumpet player. You bootlegged on that one, Michelle. You can't not do that. That'd be like you saying that Walter Jones is the great drummer. Well, I play drums. That was my first instrument was the drums, and I'm pretty good at it. But y'all don't know me as a drummer. You just don't know me. As a clarinet player, y'all don't even know me as a saxophone player, and I made some good money on my saxophone. But you know me as a piano player, don't you? While Moses was on the Mount Sinai, the Lord said to him, give the following instructions to the people of Israel. When you have entered the land I'm giving you, the land itself must observe a Sabbath rest before the Lord every 7 years. All right? My boy has skills. Elizabeth, so good to see my New Yorkin. For 6 years you may plant your fields and prune your vineyards and harvest your crops. But during the 7th year, I don't know if y'all can even do this in America. Right, Michelle? I don't share too much. But during the 7th year, the land must have a Sabbath. Yeah, God is concerned even about the land, y'all. The land. It must rest. Do not plant your fields or prune your vineyards during the year. And don't store away the crops that grow on their own or gather the grapes from your unpruned vines. The land must have a year of complete rest. Or if America had just followed this, when the dust was, what was it called? The Dust Bowl. Remember that happened in the was it the 40s? Somebody find that for me. Was it in the breadbasket area of the United States? It was so bad that the farmers couldn't grow anything on the ground, and then they couldn't understand what was going on, and the scientists couldn't figure out. And I believe they had to go find some black folks to tell them what's going on, to show them what y'all are over-tilling the ground. But you may eat whatever the land produces on its own during its Sabbath. This applies to you, your male and your female servants, your hired workers and the temporary, all these people. And then we get into the year of Jubilee, which again you all overly romanticize. Cool. We just cannot live this way naturally. Spiritually, we can. We actually can adopt it naturally on an individual case-by-case basis, yes. But as a church at large, no, we're too divided. In addition to the Sabbath, you must count off 7 Sabbath years. There it is. I knew Rogers would give it to me. Nathan got it. Started in 1930. The Dust Bowl was the name given to the drought-stricken southern plains regions of the United States, which suffered severe dust storms during a dry period of 1930s, and high winds and choking dust swept the region from Texas to Nebraska. Yes, killed the crops, and yeah, I thought so. Our land would be much better for following yes, the Native Americans tried to tell them. Absolutely. 7 sets of 7 years, adding up to 49 years of in all. Then on the Day of Atonement in the 15th year, at 1 mint. That's what atonement is. At 1 mint. In the 15th year, blow the ram's horn loud and long throughout the land. Come on, Dizzy, you better play. And set this year apart as holy. We don't have a holy year in America and among the Christians. A time to proclaim freedom throughout the land for all who live there. It will be a Jubilee year, not just a day, not just the 4th of July, not just Juneteenth, not just a Memorial Day. No. Whole year, when each of you may return to the land that belonged to your ancestors and return to your own clan. Y'all who are Mississippians, go back to Mississippi. Go back to Little Rock, Arkansas. Go back to Alabama. All right? And that house that I was born in, where my parents owned, I'm supposed to go back there. Yeah. What did I say? I'm saying 15th year. I'm sorry. Thank you, Maria. I keep saying 15th year. What's wrong with me, Maria? What's wrong? All right. It will be a Jubilee year for you when each of you may return to, I read that. 11. This 50th, I keep saying 15th. This 50th year will be a Jubilee for you. During that year, you must not plant your fields or store away any of the crops that grow on their own, and don't gather the grapes from your, really? Y'all can't do that. There's not enough discipline in America to follow this. It will be a Jubilee year for you, and you must keep it holy, but you may eat whatever the land produces on its own. In the year of Jubilee, each of you may return to the land that belonged to your ancestors. All right, so that would, for me, that would be Jackson, Mississippi. That would be Canton, Mississippi. All right, a little town called Sharon, Mississippi. Philadelphia, Mississippi. Chula, Mississippi. I don't forget how to spell that. It starts with a T. I think it's Chula, Mississippi. And where else? Where else? Little Rock, Arkansas. Parts of Greenwood, Mississippi, sunshine. I would stay at the hotels in Greenwood, Mississippi, and we would do revival in Chula. All right. So yeah, I felt it right. Okay. Come on, sunshine. Hey, fam. Hey, fam. Yeah. So yeah, I would have to go back to Mississippi. Okay. Or Arkansas or Little Rock, because that's where my mother's from. When you make an agreement with your neighbor to buy or sell, now here's where it gets tough. It's getting a little tough for y'all. Getting a little tough. New Orleans, okay. Why not MS, Lawrence? I can't go back. When you make an agreement with your neighbor to buy or sell property, you must not take advantage of each other. When you buy land from your neighbor, the price you pay must be based on the number of years since the last Jubilee. Wow. The seller must set the price by taking into account the numbers of years remaining until the next year of Jubilee. I just don't know nobody's doing that in America today. The more years until the next Jubilee, the higher the price. The fewer years, the lower the price. That makes sense. That makes sense. Why not Mississippi, Lawrence say? Because I love the North. I love the North. It's too quiet down there for me. It's just too quiet. Yeah, I'm a noise maker. And I love Mississippi. I love going down there and smelling the horse manure. There's a certain smell that I remember as a boy. We had a little pasture back there. We had an outhouse. And we grew everything: beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes. Okay, we grew everything. I don't remember going to the store for much of nothing because we grew everything in the pasture out back. We had a farm, and so the smell is still in my nose. After all, the person selling the land is actually selling you a certain number of harvests. What a deal. Show your fear of God by not. Oh, look at that. Show your fear of God by not taking advantage of each other. I am the Lord. Show your fear by being an honest businessman or woman. Be honest. You can't. This is why Ananias and Sapphira fell out under the anointing. They were slain in the spirit. Okay, this is why. Green Acres is a place for me. Natalie. Yeah. Okay. Then he said, if you want to live securely in the land, follow my decree and obey my regulations. Then the land will yield large crops. The land will do it. There won't be no dust bowl if you obey the Lord. And you will eat your fill and live securely in it. Ain't nobody gonna bother you. But you might ask, what will we eat during the 7th year, though? Since we are not allowed to plant or harvest crops that year. Oh, that's a good question. If we can't till the ground, if we can't produce, we can't sow, how are we going to reap if there's nothing in the ground? How am I going to go to the bank and withdraw anything out of the account if I've never deposited anything in the bank? That's what they asked him. It's a good question. Be assured that I will send my blessings for you in the 6th year. So the land will produce a crop large enough for 3 years. This sounds familiar. Can y'all tell me where else did God do this for a group of people? Somebody put it in the comment section, since y'all are very smart and intelligent Bible students. Where else did God do this for a group of people? Well, they had gathered up enough that they were able to live off the stuff that they gathered for a few years after that. Can y'all tell me? Sunshine say manna. Nope. Not manna. He did this for a group of people. And it has a lot to do with thank you. Roger's got it. Joseph. Maria, yes. Joseph in Egypt. Absolutely. The dream that he saw. Michelle got it. Vera got it. Okay. All right. And Natalie's correct. She put Daniel up there. So the land will produce a crop large enough for 3 years. When you plant your fields in the 8th year, you still will be eating from the large crop of the 6th year. In fact, you will still be eating from the large crop when the new crop is harvested in the 9th year. Oh, yeah, okay, Sunshine, you meant extra day. Yes, this is correct. This is correct, Sunshine. And you know, this right here, this can apply. This still can apply in the spiritual. Here with you all, what you all do for people, for the poor and the needy and the orphans and strangers and the widows and anybody in need. It is an investment policy that you have given on behalf of God's stock market. God has a stock market. What is it? The poor. How do we know? He says, if you give to the poor, can y'all finish it? Can y'all finish it? That is God's economy in the stock market. That is his Wall Street. And he pays a dividend. There's never a recession with God. Understand? his interest rates are always high. Come on, Melody. Come on, Nathan. So when you give to God, to the poor, you're lending to God. He pays you a dividend on what you've done. The lending tree, I would call him. He pays a high yielding dividend. All right. And so when that happens, I see Elizabeth, when that happens and God pays the giver back, pressed down, shaken together. Here's where that verse can come in now. Overflow. Okay. Well, men will give into your bosom. That's where this comes in. Come on, Truth Reigns. It's a daily dividend. Come on. Yes, to the least of them, Pastor. Good to see you, Pastor Collins. So I get paid by God over and over again when I give to certain things, to poor people, to single mothers, to Haiti, to whoever. The Lord continues to pour back into my home. He continues to bless me over and over again because he's giving me dividend payments. He's giving me all dividend payments. All right. When I preach the gospel, he pays me back in dividends. And so for those of you who want a good investment in the spiritual realm, you can do something naturally, and that is go out there and find somebody who's in need, and then your bills will start getting paid, and you'll be like, wait a minute, now I know I only make $10 an hour. I know this week I only did 25 hours this week because I was ill or something's going on. I know. How was it that I recoup more this week even though I only worked 25 hours? How was this? Because it's something that you did the week before that. You inspired somebody in the Lord. You became a beacon light for somebody. And God says, pass me my checkbook, please. Pass me my checkbook. Who you paying off now, Lord? Elizabeth. That Elizabeth. Oh, is it payroll time? No, but I'm giving her a bonus. I gotta give her a bonus. That girl blessed that young lady over there. She blessed her, and I just gotta. He pushed that in the mail and he mailed it off to you. And sometimes what he does, Elizabeth, you do something and he'll pick up the phone, and I don't know what New York light company is, but here's Commonwealth Edison. Yes, Commonwealth Edison, please. Yes, I need to pay Elizabeth's bill for about 3 months straight. And put it on my account. Put it on my tab. I am the Lord thy God. Pay off her bills. And then you get a bill in the mail, and then it says overpaid. I'm trying to tell y'all, I had a bill that was $30,000. This was let's see, maybe right before COVID, 2019. I had a bill. Actually, it was reaching $33,000. $33,000 bill that I had to pay, and interest kept hitting it. I didn't have no $33,000, and it was on my credit report, and it just was killing me. And I kept preaching the gospel. I kept giving to people, and I said, I'll take care of that bill at some point. I'm just gonna have to do a payment plan or something. I don't know. And they was garnishing, and they was snatching money out of my account, wiping my bank account clean and stuff like that. That was going on for a few years. I'm like, I can't do this no more. I can't do this. God help me. Just keep preaching the gospel. Keep giving to the poor. Don't worry about that. Keep pouring into my Wall Street. And I kept doing that during COVID. And one day I got a letter from that place that I owed all that money to, and the bill was $10,000. And I'm like, wait a minute, I should be on $35,000. This thing says $10,000. And I called. I says, how much is my bill? Oh, let's see, sir. We see here in the system 10,000. That's impossible. That's impossible. There's no way. And they say, yeah, and we'll put you on a little payment plan. And you can pay this off in a couple years. And I'm like, no, that's not right. This doesn't sound right. And the Spirit said, oh, it's right. It's right. Don't argue with God. Give them that down payment and shut the phone off. Give them that money and hang up the phone. I had a student loan for $123,000. God paid it. Wow. Took the sting out of my debt. Wow, Melody. Jesus. Tell y'all. And my FICO score was suffering because that thing was laying heavy on my credit report. And that FICO score was struggling. It was struggling hard. When that thing went down from 35,000 down to 10,000, and then they removed it off of my scores, my credit report. They removed it off of all 3 credit reports, and my FICO score went. It went up. It was up in the 700s after that. Because when that bill was on my FICO, my credit report, I was barely out of the 500s on my FICO score. Barely out of the 500s. That's how low it was. And once it dropped, 700s. I was like, God, you're so good to me. That's what God is trying to show the children of Israel with Jubilee. You take care of God's business, he will take care of you. Come on, heavenly majestic warrior. I love that name, by the way. Love it. Yes, a turnaround. All right, so that's what he's trying to say here. When you plant your fields in the 8th year, you will still be eating from the large crop of the 6th year. Don't you worry about that. In fact, you will still be eating from that large crop when the new crop is harvested in the 9th year. Oh, I'm going to take care of you. Oh, I got to feed you. You one of my remnants. I got to bless you. I just have to. Why do I have to bless you? Because he said, I am the Lord, your God. I'm your God. All right? The land must never be sold on a permanent basis, for the land belongs to me. This is my land. How you going to sell my land to someone else permanently? You are only foreigners and tenant farmers working for me. You are ambassadors, y'all. Y'all are ambassadors for Christ. You're only passing through here. Don't get too settled in here. Don't take your clothes off. Don't get too settled. You're just passing through. You're foreigners, sojourners. So you are tenant farmers. That's all y'all are. And the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. With every purchase of land, you must grant the seller the right to buy it back. Why? Because this is my land. This land is my land. God's like, no, don't sing that song. This land is my land, period. If one of your fellow Israelites fall into, wow, look at this one. If somebody falls into poverty and is forced to sell some family land, then a close relative should buy it back for him. That's how tight God wants y'all to be, wanted them to be. Well, he still wants y'all to be tight too. If there is no close relative to buy the land, but the person who sold it gets enough money to buy it back, he then has the right to redeem it from the one who bought it. The price of the land will be discounted, according to the number of years until the next year of Jubilee. In this way, the original owner can then return to the land. It's only fair. God is a fair God. God is a fair God. I am so looking for God to take advantage of these times to prove his truth. Come on, and not the tithe deception. I'm in the wrong house, Pastor Tony. Wrong house. Wrong. But you talking right, Doc. You're talking right. Do you think Israel ever practiced this as they should? No. Jeremiah admonished them to release people from, and no, not all of them, Sunshine, great question. No, they were so stiff-necked, and this is why God had to keep using the enemy, the enemy were their cousins. The Amorites, the Ammonites, and the Cushites, and Nebuchadnezzar folks, okay, and the Syrians, the Assyrians. A lot of those cats, they were, especially the Babylonians, were really their cousins. And he had to punish them because they would not keep God's decrees. But if the original owner cannot afford to buy back the land, it will remain with the new owner until the next year of Jubilee. In the Jubilee year, the land must be returned to the original owner so they can return to their family. All right. So he's pretty much telling you how things work above. They need to work this way. All right. Yes. Anyone who sells a house inside a walled town has the right to buy it back for a full year after its sale. During that year, the seller retains the right to buy it back. But if it is not bought back within a year, the sale of the house within the walled town cannot be reversed. It will become the permanent property of the buyer. It will not be returned to the original owner in the Jubilee year. But a house in a village, a settlement without fortified walls, will be treated like property in the countryside. Such a house may be bought back at the time, and it must be returned to the original owner in the year of Jubilee. He's covering every aspect. Right now we're in a housing a housing crisis right now. Okay, because the price of a home is exorbitant. It's too high, and the Fed decided to give us 75 points up. Well, they're trying to freeze or slow down the economy so that they could attack this whole housing issue here. Houses are becoming plentiful because the construction companies are building more and more and more and more, but they're becoming too pricey. All right, and so prior to this week, some people could afford a house, but with 75 basis points, you cannot now. Because a house for $400,000 had a mortgage of 1,500 bucks. Now that same house have a mortgage of about $2,200 that's $600 a month extra is too much for many families. They cannot afford a new house, especially if you have an interest rate that is not fixed. It's a variable. This is what happened in 2006. All right, with the bubble. All right, so this it was difficult back then. All right, and so what we're going through right now with this housing crisis and what have you, these people here didn't have to worry about that stuff. The Levites always have the right to buy back a house. He's getting ready to bless the Levites. Why he's getting ready to bless the Levites? Because the Levites have no inheritance. He had to take care of them, and right now I would be considered a Levite. They had no inheritance. They owned nothing. They lived pretty much in the temple. I mean, they had places to live outside the temple, but they pretty much worked in the temple. The Levites and the priests. All right, and God says that you all are supposed to till the ground and then bring in a tithe of your crops. Okay, I had to put crops there, not money. A tithe of your crops, and you had to feed the Levites, okay, because they worked for God. They didn't have an inheritance. God says, I am your inheritance. Y'all get that? All right. So the Levites always have the right to buy back a house they have sold within the towns allotted to them. They have the right to buy it back. And any property that is sold by the Levites, all houses within the Levites' town must be returned in the Jubilee. After all, the houses in the towns reserved for the Levites are the only property they own in all Israel. Why? Because Levites were not allowed to own land. They can live in the house, but they really couldn't own the land. So they had no inheritance to spread out. All right. The open pasture land around the Levitical towns, this is important here, may never be sold. It is their permanent possession. The Levitical towns or the Levitical cities, and the Levitical towns or cities were called the storehouse. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here's where I get in trouble. I'm in the wrong house, y'all. Speaking of house, I'm in the wrong house. The storehouse was not the temple of God. It was not the temple. The storehouse were the Levitical cities or towns where the Levites lived, and you brought a tithe and you put it in the storehouse so that there might be meat. Is it making sense now? So that there might be meat in mine house. That is out of Malachi chapter 3, what you all love to read. Hope I'm making sense now. There you go, sunshine. Bring my tithe, the meat, the crop, into the storehouse, which was the Levitical cities, so there might be meat. All right? And when you do that, then the devourer or the locusts or the grasshoppers, this is not the devil. No. Y'all made it the devil out of Malachi 3. No. The grasshoppers, God says, I was going to drown them. How was he going to do that? He was going to open up a window. From where, y'all? Can y'all tell me? I'm breaking this down, y'all. I'm breaking this down. He says, I've given you this land, all this land. I just gave y'all the story here. I'm giving you all this land right here. You're going to till in the ground. You're going to pull it up out the ground, and you're going to give it to the Levitical towns, which is called a storehouse, so that there might be meat. Okay, and he says it will be given to them, pressed down, shaken together. Lord have mercy. Okay, running over. What's that? The crops that you will have no room to receive what? The crops. The crops. Have you ever seen a full refrigerator? Well, that's what tithe is. A refrigerator full of what? Crops that there is no room to receive. So now you got to buy another freezer or something, or you got to give that food away. That's what this was. And so he says, I'm going to open up a window from heaven, pour out a blessing. What is that? R-A-I-N, rain. All right, which will drown the grasshoppers, the devourer. We made it overly spiritual. So that the grasshopper wouldn't eat the crops, so then the crops will grow, and then you could pluck it up, part of the first fruit, and you bring it into the storehouse so that the Levites can eat. I just explained Malachi 3 in the book of Leviticus. Y'all made it so spiritual. Lord have mercy. I didn't plan on going this route, but too late. I'm there now. Wrong house. If one of your fellow Israelites falls into poverty and cannot support himself, support him. Did y'all see that? Support him as you would a foreigner or a temporary resident and allow him to live with you. What is this, y'all? These are your brothers and sisters. If he can't survive, you help him survive. Support him. Truth Reigns, so you teaching here on this year, you too. Do not charge interest. When people borrow money from me, I never charge interest. Never. There's two things I do when people borrow money from me. Number one, I never charge interest. Number two, I never give them a time to pay it back. No. I just say, pay me back when you can. Now, I don't always say don't pay me back, but many people out there says I would say you can't afford to pay me back. Just take that and take care of your bills and then find a way to get yourself out of this. All right? You're not good stewards of your money. So I will give them a financial seminar in about 5 minutes, yes. But when I give people money, I give them the money without the expectation of getting it back. And trust me, that has been the case down through the years where the saints act like they didn't own me, and so they just didn't talk about it. they just took the money and ran. I've done that many years ago, but I sure don't do that today. Learned my lesson well. I do not do that. Of course, I don't borrow money from people, but I do not believe, and you should be charging people interest. You're not a bank. You are not a bank. Don't charge people interest, and don't be looking for it back. Don't do it, or don't give them the money at all. I know that's hard. They both start with it. Nathan, are you causing trouble? Nathan. Give it and they give it back. Amen. Avis. Okay, that's how you're supposed to give because of those daily. Come on. Truth reigns. Truth. It's in your name, ain't it? Truth. It's in your name. Do not charge interest or make a profit at his expense. Instead, show your fear of God by letting him live with you as your relative. Wow. That's Cousin Bobo. He is. I don't remember us having a Cousin Bobo where he is now. He's one of us. He's a believer. He's now your cousin. Remember, do not charge interest on money you lend him or make a profit on food you sell him. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, and I brought you out rich. You plundered the Egyptians. So how dare you be begging, trying to make a living off of somebody who is in need? When they want to borrow $20 and you can say, okay, that would be $20, $25 with interest. He says, I brought you out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and be your God. You were once strangers. All right, y'all, this is getting too long. This is a lot. I'm not going to read all this. But there's some good stuff in here, though, because the Sunday school lesson skips around. It does do 39. Okay. What does it do? 39 through 40. 39 and 40, okay. If one of your fellow Israelites fall into poverty and if it is forced to sell himself to you, wow. I owe you, man. I owe you a debt of gratitude. I owe you my life. He's going to sell himself to you. Do not treat him as a slave. Wow. Treat him instead as a hired worker or as a temporary resident who lives with you, and he will serve you only until the year of Jubilee, and let that man go. Let him go. At that time, he and his children will no longer be obliged or obligated to you, and they will return to their clan and go back to the land originally allotted to their ancestors. The people of Israel are my servants, whom I brought out of the land of Egypt, so they must never be sold as slaves. Never. Show your fear of God by not treating them harshly. He says, my people will never be slaves. Why? Because they are the head and not the tail. But some of y'all are slaves to your bosses. And you said you are the head and not the tail. You are the lender, not the borrower, but you're slave to your bosses. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all, somebody lying to me. All right, let's skip to 47. This is where it goes back here. 47 through 48. And then it skips to 55 right here. All right, so it says, suppose a foreigner or a temporary resident becomes rich while living among you. If any of your fellow Israelites fall into poverty and are forced to sell themselves to such a foreigner or to a member of his family, they still retain the right to be bought back. Even after they have been purchased, they may be bought back by a brother, an uncle, a cousin. In fact, anyone from the extended family may buy them back. Man, that was some economy back then, wasn't it? All right, 55. For the people of Israel belong to me. They are my servants whom I brought out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Ah, man, this is good stuff, man. This lesson here blessed me. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. When I read it, I was like, okay, but God, this don't even apply to us. Well, he said, well, I given you, what's that in your hand? What's that? A pen? Well, use it, son, use it. I said, okay, Lord, I'll use it. And that lesson turned out to be all right. Am I right? All right, let's see. What is the year of Jubilee? Right quick, let's see what these guys say. Did I even right here. Let's see what they say right quick. There's only a couple paragraphs here. Truth Brains cracked me up. Right here. Let's see what it said. Let's see what it said. What is the year of Jubilee? The word Jubilee literally is ram's horn. Blow the trumpet in Zion. Zion in Hebrew is defined in Leviticus 25 as a sabbatical year after 7 cycles of 7 years. That's 49 years. The 50th year was to be a time of celebration and rejoicing for the Israelites. The ram's horn was blown on the 10th day of the 7th month to start the 50th year of the universal redemption. It's good stuff. Again, I wish we had something like that in America. And no, y'all's filing in chapter 7 and chapter 13 is not the same. It's just not the same. The year of Jubilee involved a year of release from indebtedness and all types of bondage. All prisoners and captives were set free. All slaves were released. All debts were forgiven. All property was returned to the original owner. In addition, all labor was to cease 1 year. Man, what kind of siesta is that? 1 whole year, and those bound by labor contracts were released from them. One of the benefits of Jubilee was that both the land and the people were able to rest. That's the whole purpose. God's rest. For the Lord your God will bless you. Come on, sir. Yes, as he promised you. Yes, Deuteronomy 15. And you should, come on. We did that show a couple days ago, Nathan Grant. I'm saying that God's people don't go to collect, add impossible interest and time limits, nor break legs. Michelle Carter, the dead mother, is acting up. Nor break legs. The Jubilee presents a beautiful picture. Here's where they sum it up. A beautiful picture of the New Testament theme of redemption and forgiveness. There's where you can apply it to your life. Good night, Florence. It's Florence's bedtime. It's her bedtime. Wouldn't it be nice to have a 1 year vacation? Ooh, man. Wouldn't that be something? Christ is the Redeemer who came to set free those who are slave or prisoners to sin. The debt of sin we owe to God was paid on the cross as Jesus died on our behalf. Colossians 2:13. And we are forgiven the debt for how long? Forever and ever, amen. I'm gonna love you forever and ever. What's his name, y'all? What's that old country boy name? That's my favorite song from him. Whatever happened to him? Forever and ever, amen. Yeah, I know. Like I said, pastors don't teach that. Pastor Tony Collins, man, they're gonna sling you up they're gonna sling you up on a rail. They're gonna sling you up. We are no longer in bondage, no longer slaves to sin, having been freed by Christ, and we can truly enter the rest God provides as we cease labor to make ourselves acceptable to God by our own works. Hebrew 4. Randy Travis, not Alan Jackson. I believe that's Randy Travis, Maria. Randy, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. Oh, it's a great song, man. That's a great song. I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever. Yeah, amen. It's a great song. Y'all gonna make me YouTube that right after the show. I would play it now, but YouTube will snatch it. Michelle, tell you that's a great song. All right, that is the lesson, y'all. Again, it didn't take that long, did it? It wasn't that bad. I usually go an hour and a half. I don't know. Back in the day, our Sunday school lessons went just about 10, 15 minutes. And, well, I got carried away. I got carried away. Go to faithfullevelson.org if you want some more. Tomorrow is Father's Day, and the men will be on the stage up here, I believe. Several men will be on the stage, and we'll be doing a panel on fatherhood, and the audience will be asking questions. I believe that's how it's going to go tomorrow, so it won't be your usual 11 o'clock sermon service. There'll be some singing in the beginning, but we're going to talk about fatherhood. I appreciate you too, Sunshine McNair. Thank you so much for stopping by. Always great to see you. Yeah, and so they'll be asking questions about single fathers, fathers who are in a marriage with children, fathers who adopt other children, fathers who are divorced with children, okay, or fathers with children, blah, blah. All right, all that stuff. And it should be quite interesting, so y'all pray our strength to see if we can get through that, because I fit in a whole bunch of those categories, all right? I fit in those categories. Miss Happy, blessings, good to see you. Somebody's got greedy and somebody got carried away with the Sunday school lessons. Now we are here forever, right? Shut up. Yeah, right, Nathan. Why y'all be picking on me? Y'all gotta stop picking on the mind of God. Don't pick on the prophet. Stop picking on the prophet. Hey, also, I'm still shooting the Sunday school lesson, the Sunday school university classes. I'm still shooting. I'm not going to shoot everything. I want to open up the Sunday school class, the university, on the website. While I'm shooting, I'm going to open it up, and then you all could go in there and move around the cabin while I'm shooting more classes every week, so you can walk through the process. All right. I'm not going to wait, because it'll take me a couple months to do what I want to do, but I'm going to be letting y'all in one by one, okay, and let you see some of the classes, and then they'll be updated every day. That's how I'm going to do it. But what I need from you all who attended the 8-week Sunday school university is I need testimonials. I need testimonials from you all. As many as I can get, because I want this to go nationwide. And there must be some validity to the class. They want to know, who is this Mr. Elder Sirwalterj Jones who's teaching the Bible class, and where did he come from? He probably don't know anything because he didn't graduate from Harvard Theological Seminary. Okay, So I need some testimonials from you all who were part of the 8-week class. Many of you all have sent me emails for 8 weeks talking about how it blessed you. Well, if it did bless you, do me a favor, since it was free of charge. Can you do a testimonial? And how are you going to do it? On your phone. All right? If you're comfortable doing it this way, fine. I prefer it this way. And you just give me a testimonial on how you enjoyed the class, what you learned, and talk about the teacher, whatever you want to do. And, again, 1 minute or less. All right, if you can, because if you make it any longer, then it's going to be too big for you to send to the email. All right, unless you guys go to Dropbox. Send it to giftedfriends1 at gmail.com. It's in the description below. If you are part of the 8 weeks Sunday school class, I need it yesterday. Send me a testimonial. All right. Some of you don't want to have your face on video. All right, fine. You could write out. I prefer the video, but you can also write out what you learned, because that will go on the website as well. All right. But I need some videos, because I know you all are shy. The bunkers are shy because y'all still haven't sent me not one video where I told y'all to impersonate me for my birthday night. I haven't got not one because y'all are too shy to be on video. But I need this. So please, for me, for your bruh. I was there for y'all for 8 weeks. Can y'all be there for me? Shoot a video and tell the world how much you enjoyed and what you got out of the 8 weeks class, and encourage them to be a part of the SundaySchoolUniversity.org. Okay? Please, for me. And if you absolutely can't do that, don't want to do that, then write up something so that I can put it on the website. Go to giftedfriends1 at gmail.com and start yesterday, if you please, so that I can get this website up and going. All right? Because the world is waiting. I'm shooting Revelations right now. I'm in the middle of Revelation right now, shooting that. It won't be finished by the time you get in the website, but you're going to follow the process. All right, I'll talk more about it in your email. The bunkers, I got your emails, and you'll be getting emails this week about that. I'll be doing a daily Sunday School University talk of the day. They only last for a few minutes. Every day at noon, starting next week, to get the people excited about the Sunday school classes that's coming up. So be looking out for that every day at noon for just a few minutes. It'll be me and talking about something that we talked about in those 8 weeks, and to get the people excited about Sunday School University.org. Love y'all. Take care of yourselves and one another. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the share button, the bell notification. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bing. And it'll tell you that we're live and full effect. All right. See y'all tomorrow at 9:30. Regular Sunday school time. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for that. I'm sure a whole bunch of Father's Day greetings will be coming in tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Father's Day is always a good day, because I never know what my babies are going to do. I never know. But it's always a great, great, great day of the year. It's good to be a father. So good to be a father. All right, y'all. Sunday school. Hold on. I got to see which one. Am I on the right one? I don't know. What? I haven't received anything from you? What? Like what? Did you send me anything, Tam? Like what? Because I didn't send anything out. I haven't sent anything. So what are you talking about? I haven't sent anything out. So email me. Let me know what you're talking about, Tam. giftedfriends1 at gmail.com, because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Sunday school. Marching on. Wait, it's gone. Sorry, y'all.
Well, goodbye. 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 Enjoy yourself. Goodbye. 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 Well, goodbye. Goodbye.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?